Hiya, welcome back to the channel. So, this Citroen, a few weeks ago I did a video where I wanted to see what boost it was making, and the way I did that was I looked on live data to see what it was making according to the map sensor, but I'm not sure if that's entirely accurate because it seems to be making like a perfect linear somewhere around 2.5 psi. Now superchargers are pretty linear, but as soon as it was making boost, it seems to be staying at the same pressure all the way through the rev range, which seems a little bit too linear. Now, this could be just because, obviously, it's such a masterful system that it is perfect and it is making perfect linear boost. Or it could be that because the map sensor is not designed to see positive pressure, because it was throwing a code for that, it's probably going outside its limits, so it's probably making a little bit more than what that cutoff is. So in this video I have got, obviously to be perfectly accurate, I've bought the cheapest one I could find, and it says, I don't know if it'll work properly because it says turbo on it and not supercharger, but we'll have to just find out. Well, this is a boost gauge. I'm not going to properly wire it in, it's just a temporary thing just to see what the car's doing. So let's carefully and professionally plumb that in. Don't call me late. Leave been dripping, but you want it. And the first thing that I want to do is I need to feed this high quality hose through from the cabin to the engine bay. So the way I'm going to route that is by going into the passenger footwell where the heater matrix hoses come through, and I'm going to carefully just feed this next to the 12 volt feed for the sub that I fitted a while ago. And then with that pushed through, I should be able to see it on this side, as you can see there, like that. And so, if I lovingly pull that through a bit to make it long enough to reach this pipe here, and then carefully measure perfectly and cut somewhere around there on this pipe here, and then I have got this, so that's going to tee into it. So then I'll put that onto there, and then the other end of that pipe, and I'll show you. And so now we have got our T-piece onto it, we need to connect this bit onto the output of it, but the quality material of this is, it's not going on because it's too hard. So what I've done is I've asked my mum to boil the kettle for me, and then what I'm going to do is, might be hard one hand, I'm definitely going to drop that. So I'm going to dip that into the boiled kettle water and leave it for a minute so it fills the pipe full of water, but more importantly it warms it up. And then now that it is in fact warm, it is incredibly much more flaccid and will just go on nice and easily. Something like that is actually still a bit of a dick to put on, but it is now on. And so coming back round to this side, I need to connect that pipe to the back of this, but I need to decide where I'm going to put this. Now I was actually just going to cable tie it up or something, but if it fits something like that and there's nothing too badly behind it, then I might actually put it there, and I might even wire the lights in, but I probably won't. So let's take this off and see what room it gives me. And I have in fact removed this in other videos, so first I need to pull this off, and then there's a screw behind there, and then I just need to pull it off, so I'm not going to really show much of that. And with that gently removed, we can see that we do actually have enough room behind it to sit the boost gauge here. Now the shape of this isn't going to help me much, I'm just going to butcher it with a drill nice and carefully until I can mount the gauge somewhere around that location. Yes. So with that cut out under high precision, we can actually get that in there now. I do want to, I'm going to have to cut some holes out or drill some holes for these studs and for this and for the wire, just in case I decide to use that. In fact, the wire, fuck it, the wire can go through there. So I need to drill 3 holes in that. And after completely guessing them and not measuring them at all, I can actually see that we have actually got them pretty much perfectly lined up. So I can mount that in there. Yes. So now, as you can see, I have put this, looped it through into this bit here so it connects to the back of there like it's supposed to. These need tightening up, so I need to use the incorrect tool to do that. And then I need to find that. I need to find something to plug that into, but we'll get to that in a minute. First I need to tighten these up, and obviously this is the correct tool to do it with. And now, with those tightened up lovingly, we can see that that is now mounted. So I was actually going to wire this into the lights, so it just came on when the lights was on, but you can't see it even when it's not dark, and it might not even work if there's no power to it. So I don't know if it's just an analog gauge or if it's electronic. It's probably just an analog gauge. It probably would work, but you won't be able to see it. So anyway, I'm just going to wire this in to an ignition feed and find one of those, and then I'm going to carefully wire it into one of these wires somewhere down here with Scotch locks, professional as ever, so it comes on whenever the ignition's on, so I can at least see it. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll come back. Yes. And I don't even know if that is wired correctly or not, so it will either work, it won't work, or it'll catch fire. So let's waste a bit of time pushing it back in for it not to work. And then before I put all the screws in, let's turn the ignition on. It should light up. Yes. Yes. And so it does seem that that actually works. So let's take it for a quick drive and see what real life boost that we're getting. I mean, obviously this goes up to 35 psi above atmospheric, so that should just about be enough. So let's go and see. And it appears that that isn't actually working at all, because even if it wasn't boosting, if I hadn't fitted a supercharger at all, when I shut the throttle, it should go into negative pressure. So it's not really doing anything, is it? And my suspicion is because I had this pipe, which also runs to the blow-off valve, I had it teed into this line, which goes through this solenoid, which isn't always connected to the manifold. So this also confirms something that I did suspect before, which is that this blow-off valve, which, the way that these work, they have a diaphragm inside them. Now, I was using the spring to regulate the boost because it wasn't supposed to have the boosted pressure going to the, which also closes it shut. So you've got boost closing it shut and then vacuum, which opens it basically. Now it's not going to be doing neither, is it? So with the spring, it seems like it just regulate the pressure using that. Anyway, now it's not going to do that because I've moved that, which is also moved the takeoff of the boost gauge directly to the inlet manifold, which is where I suspect that goes. It's where it appears to go to if we look down there. So now hopefully it'll work. And when I start this up, it should actually dip. Yes.
Recording started.
So that is actually working. So let's go and see what boost we're actually getting. And that seems to not boost at all. Now, the thing is, I don't really trust this because now if we look there, I mean, it's saying PSI, right, and it's got 0 PSI, as you can see. And then it is going down to minus like 25 PSI on tick over. We've only got like 14.5 PSI in the atmosphere, so how can we have minus 25 PSI? Unless I'm reading it wrong. I mean, if you know better, let me know. But when I give it the big licks, well, I'll show you also when I turn it off, let it settle. So 0 is completely to the bottom of that fat line there. And I was expecting it to be somewhere around where that little arrow is there. So like, you know, the 2.5 PSI that was measured electronically, which now I'm trusting more than this. Like I said, I did get the cheapest boost gauge I could find. It was like a tenner posted. So obviously it's not going to be that good. But it's showing that we're just not really boosting. So unless I've plumbed it in wrong, which I don't think I have, something somewhere seems to be amiss. So let's see if I can actually get it working. And the answer appears to be not really. So anyway, if we look at this boost gauge, we can see that when I turn the car off, Actually, let's get the light on so we can see. It settles near the bottom of that white line. When I give it big licks, it goes to like near the middle of it. So it is showing that it is boosting a little bit.
Recording started.
But it's not boosting enough to send it up to where I expected it to go up to. I thought that it was going to be like maybe a little bit more than 2.5 psi, because I thought that the sensor might have been running out at 2.5 psi. That's even if I've worked that out right. I think I have. I'm not sure if I really trust this gauge. I don't think that it's actually very sensitive. I don't really understand the markings on it, because I mean it says psi, but you can't have minus 30 psi. It just doesn't work, unless, like I say, I'm reading something wrong there. So if I am, just let me know. And it turns out that I am in fact reading something wrong. So when it's measuring the vacuum, it's inches of mercury, and then it goes into psi when it is looking for positive pressure. And it's not going to do positive pressure because yes. So let's refit this and try again. And so now I have in fact refitted that. So let's see if we get some boost. Yes. It appears that we do get a small amount of boost. Let's see what we get when we're driving. So as we can see by that, with the boost hose attached to the car, it makes more boost. And I'm getting around 4.5 psi, which is, you know, it seems to be sort of like between 4 and 5, flicking about a bit with this super accurate, really high quality gauge. So that's a bit more than what I anticipated off what the map sensor said. In fact, that's like somewhere, if that was on the live data, then it'd be something like 1,350 millibar, because obviously that's above atmospheric. So it seems like the sensor runs out at about 2.5 psi, and it's actually making like 4.5 psi, which is actually more than I expected. So it seems that that supercharger is absolutely just perfectly suited to this engine. Obviously it would need mapping in, but I'm not going to do that. But I am going to try, if I get chance, I am going to try and figure out a way to give it more fuel. But it depends if I get around to it before this car dies. Anyway, I think I'll leave this there. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the usual shit, and I'll see you next time.